Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in 3, 2, 1.
On the troll. On the troll.
Hello and welcome back. We are here again. We gathered here to again. I think we are not far from the days where we see things that we should see in that court, but we cannot go a day and be in a quiet state. And as of yesterday, I couldn't come on and I couldn't be here. Reason being, it was a lot. So we realized that, no, man, let us chill it out. Let me chill it out. Let me assure you that Emily will be back in no time. It's a matter of things just clearing out. But I can tell you, if the court is there on Monday, Emily will be here. But for now, you are stuck with me. And there is a lot. And in fact, the fact that I waited, it's a good thing because I got to get everything all together through Emily's help, obviously. I'm not the one, I'm not the cooker, but Emily is a cooker in these things. So I just want to start this day, and greetings to everyone. You know what to do. You press the like button. You comment on the comment section. You subscribe if you are not subscribed. You become a member if you would like to contribute in this channel, and Super Chat is there for you. You know you have to do. It's Friday today. Yeah, it's still Friday. Yes, it is Friday. So guys, let's get these things together. Here, I will be obviously going through what was said by Tiff. And I have to say this in advance. There might be contrasting views to what Teffo is saying, in my opinion, but again, this is my opinion. I still regard Teffo as one of the best that has come to that case and actually gave us this case the way it is now. I can never dispute that. But you know me, I have my opinions and I have my views, and that you cannot take away from me. So I'm here for that. And I'm here to actually look at these interviews. He actually did 2 interviews so far that I have seen. It is the one coming from Meg's podcast and chill. And then the other one, it is from Nzigimazwai. I think it's Moyo. Yes, that's the name of the channel. Very good chilled sit-down interview also there, where he was dishing it to Nzigimazwai as much as he could. And we had everything that we had. We will agree and maybe some way we will disagree. But it is normal to have that. And that is what we call this free country, free South Africa, as they would call it. I'm here today and it's Friday. And I hope you are also here because it's Friday and we are enjoying your Friday. So take your popcorn and chill. And chill and chill. Press the like button though on your spare time. Make sure you press that like button so that we don't bother each other in trying to remind you. But let's hear one of the people that could have been touched by these interviews that Teffo did, which is none other than Miss Kelly Khumalo. Let's hear what she had to say.
Enough is enough. It stops here and it stops today. I'm not going to be diplomatic about this. I'm not going to release press statements. I am not going to waste my money hiring lawyers to speak on my behalf. Udoti nje udoti. If you strongly believe that I am capable of what you're accusing me of, very simple. Come and get me. It's that simple. I'm not above the law. But I think I'm at the point where I am enough of you people dragging my name through the mud. It stops now. These stupid humiliation rituals that you've been performing, Ngami, over the years. Enough. If you feel that I am the woman that you are coming after, simple, come and get me. Akekho umuntu engimesabayo. Till then, back off. Back off.
Well, the warning is clear there. Back off. If you don't want to do anything, just back off from using her name, dragging her name on the mud. If you want to come after her, please, by all means, do come, but make sure you have all the things that you need so that you come for her in the right way. That's basically the message. She is fed up. She's tired of this dragging of her name. Every day, week in, week out, any chance people get, they drag Kelly's name. I think this is in combination of what has been happening in court and the testimonies in court that we have had, where Kelly was called this trigger woman, a person of interest, as she's the one who actually orchestrated this whole thing, allegedly, according to what Gininda was saying in that court. So she's fed up. If you have something, if you really have something, come and get her. That's all she's saying. I'm not above the law. That is all she's saying. I don't know what you make out of that, but I still say it without fear or favor. I don't think it would be ideal to call her. She might sound wounded, but do not be tempted to call her. And that is going to bring us to what we have heard on these interviews and why maybe we might be contrasting some of the things that are said there. But I don't think it is the right time to call Kate, and there will ever be a right time to call Kate. In my own opinion, she must just wait for 375. And that's it. I don't think you need to call Kelly right now. We need to close this movie that Teffo says is a movie that was scriptured by Gininda in his words in one of these interviews that he was doing. So we don't need Kelly at this point in time, and that's my opinion. It is my opinion. But let's hear just the summary. This is basically the summary of what Teffo was saying when he was sitting with Meg G and JJ, right? So we cannot deny that Advocate Teffo has been through a lot. But okay, let's hear what is just a recap. You know, we're not going to bring everything as it was, but we are just going to recap. I mean, it would be pointless. If you want to get everything as it was, you would need to go to Meg G's podcast and chill and watch it all. I think it's about 2 hours something. So this is what he said. They tried to kill me when I was in jail. That's the first part. After getting a bail in Pretoria, they sent me to Johannesburg prison for attempted assault of a woman of no color. They tried to poison me through chicken licking. They fed him slow poison. The doctor in Johannesburg prison diagnosed him. His fingers and nails are discolored and are gone, which is the impact of the poison. Right. As we have said, he has been through a lot. There is no denying that. He has been put through a lot. And then the people behind his arrest, he said his former employer in the police and the LPC. He's always been in the leadership of labor union, labor's right of SAPS employee. He represented members of the police. He always has been roughing up the feathers, as you know. We have, I think that is something that we all have heard from him, and we kind of have an idea of where Teffo comes from. That's the background of where Teffo comes from. And he said that he was going to name names. He said that from the very beginning, they did not want him to be part of this case, and advocate George Baloyi. But before going to advocate Baloyi, he started with Lieutenant General Mawela. He said that he is the illegal substance supplier in general in Gauteng, allegedly. And I would like to say allegedly again. He said he is also the one who's responsible for striking him off the roll. Now you get to understand why there is this fight or focus to Mawela, to General Mawela. It has to do with that he is the reason why he was struck off the roll. And in comparison to what he also said to Moyo, which in Zigi's channel, he also mentioned this particular person of interest. He is the former provincial commissioner of Gauteng. They had already started the report to the LPC against Teffo on the August of 2019. So this comes way back. It's not something new. I guess it does not stem from Senzo, and in fact that can be supported by the fact that he has been ruffling the feathers on the SAPC through the cases that he has been winning against them and all that, to get Teffo strike off the roll. So the complaint by the SAPS, when asked where the evidence, on the 6th August 2020, Mawela was the PC of the Gauteng. He was responsible for the post entry and divisional commissioner. The response, e.g., Durban Harbour, the borders, and then he named Cele's name in the 26th of February 2028, and then they said Teffo is representing the criminals. So basically, the reason for the fight with SAPS, they are saying Teffo was representing the criminals. Police getting fired unfairly. Only the black police officers. This is where Teffo then had a problem. As you know, I mean, he fights like a Pan-Africanist. He would not let that slide. He says Indians and women and people of no color are reinstated with settlement agreements. And Advocate Teffo said that he has been fighting racism, and racists and the corrupt are ganging up against him. He said he has been a member of the LPC of an LPC since 2019. On the 5th of Jan 2009, he was admitted as an advocate. And the provincial chapter in Gauteng, I think it's chamber. Then he went on to tell us about Major General Collins Hendricks. He is the head of the legal SAPS in Gauteng, an advisor to Mawela. Then he says that the Major General Hendricks headed the campaign against him. Okay, this is in the contrast. I'm still gonna go through what was said on the Moyo side interview. He said that they laid a complaint to the head of the LPC, Johan van Staden, saying that Teffo was bringing back the criminals that were fired from the SAPS. They accused him of using a trust account to take monies from the clients, but they failed to provide the details of that trust account. The LPC rejected the complaint because of no trust account attached to the complaint. They even asked, where is the instructing attorney? Then they also asked that the members who were done wrong by Advocate Teffo be the ones who must come and lay the complaints. And Advocate Teffo said that Johan van Staden approached the JP Ledwaba of the Pretoria High Court. Then Ledwaba told him to bring the application to the PTA High Court. They will handle it. That is when he appeared on the SABC Live recording on the 4th and the 5th of August before acting Judge Bukako and Nyati. There was no disciplinary process with the LPC, no hearing and application of the High Court. He called it a fraudulent application. Even the case number was that of another case. I think this is a story most of you would have known because Teffo has been on the news now and then. He named his enemies from the SAPS as Elias Mawela, Collins Hendricks, Brigadier, I think it's Heinas, and then Colonel Sarita Smith, and then Brigadier Stores and Colonel Sill, also working with Bale, Brenda, Brenda, I'm just going to end it there, from the Free State. He now moved on to the allegations against Bheki Cele. So he breaking down where it was. Now I think the part of the beginning, it was all about why he's facing what he's facing and the background of it and where it started, how it started, and why it started, basically. So now let's hear about now the issues of Mr. Cele. He now moved on to damning allegations against Bheki Cele. He said that there was a war between the minister before this one of the police and the commissioner of the police. Now you remember that's Bheki Cele and Khetla Stall. The cargo was intercepted from South America. He said that it started as a tug of war in position of cargo. So the minister told his people to go and take the cargo and put it somewhere else. The national commissioner found out that it was hidden. Then he sent his own people to take it from the people of the minister. It was one of the minister. It was for them. It was for the minister not to be used as an evidence, basically. So the minister was keeping it for his own use, personal use. He said that the Durban is the territory of the minister. So that would suggest that he was hiding this cargo in Durban. I'm drinking water. That is in case probably you were wondering. That's my assumption. And then he said that the cargo left Durban and the national commissioner brought it to Gauteng. The commissioner wanted it to be used by the police as evidence, but the minister did not want that, basically. So there was a fight of, I want to do the right thing. The minister wanted to do the wrong thing, I guess. That is allegedly. Scary stuff. Then the minister went to the portfolio committee and initiated a vote of no confidence in the police commissioner. Now we get to know, perhaps according to Teffo, how the commissioner was then removed from the position that he had. He got the national commissioner fired. Teffo said that he was advising the national commissioner at the time. So he was part of the people, I guess, who were advising the commissioner at the time. The commissioner would not arrest him because he is the right-hand man of the president, allegedly. Okay, Khetla Stole was fired by the president. Teffo said he brought a case at the Pretoria High Court against the president, compelling him to fire both of them because they were fighting for this cargo. Who's gonna be in position of this cargo? But I'm surprised by that because he says initially the commissioner was fighting to actually book this thing in for as evidence. So he was doing the right thing. I think he probably was fed up because the commissioner could not arrest the minister. And then he says, I wrote a letter to get them both fired. Okay, I get it. Around the same time, the SAPS was filing a complaint against Teffo at the LPC. Bheki Cele now owned the cargo because Tole was fired, I guess. That's how he get to reach that conclusion. He did not comment much on Senzo Meyiwa. When asked about him, he said he is not sure of him. The Minister Meyiwa is a sensible person, basically saying he's a person who reasons and he's fair in a sense. Okay? That's how I feel. He was willing to deal with the issue. He dealt with unconditionally. Therefore said that he was not paid for the most people that he represented. Cele did not want the same, want some of his clients to be reinstated. He also spoke of Cele's involvement in some of the brothels and high brothels in Sentin. He said some top officials in Gauteng frequently frequented them and get services for free. Apparently, you would know what happens in those brothels. I don't want to explain any further. He mentioned the Grand in Rivonia. He said it is a mafia organized crime. He also mentioned Lolly Jackson's place. Well, when asked about Vusi Matlala, if he is also involved in illegal substances, supplied an organized syndicate, he said he knows Vusi for obtaining tenders at the police training academy. He knows the building. He knows the buildings Bia gave him at the college in Pretoria West Training College. He said Kat studied pharmacy. I didn't know that. He is a pharmacist from Mamelodi. As a pharmacist, you are allowed to deal with illegal substances, I guess, in a sense, justifying that part to say that if that is the case, then you are allowed to deal with such. Now, on Senzo's case, I guess this is where you would like to listen more attentively. He quitted the case on the 2020 12th July. Those 5 guys are innocent, so he still maintains that the guys are innocent. He is still sticking by the version he made on his last day at Pretoria High Court that Cele shot Senzo by mistake, not by the intruder. So basically, the version has not changed. He said that they phoned Chicco, and Chicco is the one that phoned Dr. Ivan Khoza. He said that even Dr. Ivan Khoza confirmed this in an interview he did with Griselda Lewis last year for Senzo Meyiwa's case. It has been 10-year anniversary since this thing happened. He said that at the time, Chicco was the business manager to Cele. Advocate Baloyi does not want the truth to come out. He wasn't supposed to even be in this case. Cele was not protected even in this case. What is actually being protected is the firearm and the owner of the firearm that was used to kill Senzo. Well, so Cele was in a sense disposed, but what was protected was the firearm, according to the theory of Advocate Teffo. Well. He say that on the 11th of August 2023, it had been 11 days of him being in prisoner. 11 days or 11? Yeah, it was 11 days. He was told to write down in an affidavit that he's out of Senzo's case and that he's no longer representing the accused. Brigadier Philani Ndlovu was the first officer on the scene. Okay? Now he's talking about Brigadier Philani Ndlovu. I think you would know, you would remember. I think it's the one who passed away, if I'm not mistaken. And then Chicco told Cele to secure the firearm out. It is somewhere in the police. It is somewhere where the police would not be able, or somewhere where the police would not be able to find it. He told her that someone was coming to fetch the firearm. General Shadrack Spear was contacted by Chicco, and he mentioned who's this Mukwedi, who was the head of detectives, and then in Gauteng, and Brigadier Philani Ndlovu. The job was to make sure that the firearm is secured. Philani Ndlovu was killed. Oh yeah, that's Ndlovu that we have been talking about, because he was going to throw the state's case under the bus. He also mentioned that Mngome Zulu was also poisoned. 11 people have died mysteriously in this case. So that's a number that Teffo is giving us since this case started. 11 people have died mysteriously. He said he was offered 100 million to leave this case. That's a lot of money. Starting with the first payment of 45 million, but he did not take it because he had taken it, he would have surely died. Okay, I guess that's more reason for you to actually stop it. Then he spoke on the firearm that killed Senzo, linking it to the one that ended Advocate Baloyi's son's life in 2004. Advocate Baloyi's son, Tsepo, died in 2004 by getting hold of his father's gun, a 38 revolver special. He shot himself in the head. His mother heard a bang and rushed to Advocate Baloyi's office, only to find that the son had shot himself and he was badly injured. Therefore said that he followed the trial and found that the son was taken to Ferry Glen Hospital and then to Boitsipong. He said he went to check on the medical record of Advocate Baloyi's son at Ferry Glen. They were not there. Advocate Baloyi and his wife were never arrested, nor did they do the trial. The case went away. Advocate Teffo said that he said that it was there were similarities in how Advocate Baloyi's son died as well as how Senzo died. He compared these two. It was a ritual killing where it was a ritual killing where the blood was needed to dry, because in Senzo's case, the people in the house are saying that Senzo died at the hospital when they took over an hour before getting him to hospital. And Tsepo also, he was moved from one hospital to another with the head injury. Wow. All of this is alleged, guys. All of this is alleged. And it comes from that interview. I'm just summarizing it for you. He said that the firearm that took Senzo's life in the one that took Advocate Baloyi's son's life back in 2004 was common, basically. He also alleged that Chicco and Advocate Baloyi are related. They have the same mother. Advocate Baloyi was born in Chicco's mother's second marriage. So basically saying that Chicco, they share the mother. I've heard these rumors from the street of YouTube. He also blamed Bheki Cele, Ronald Lamula, Julius Malema as people who were responsible for him spending 17 months in jail. They also read Kelly's warrant of arrest as well as the affidavit of Longwe twala that Teffo took while Longwe was arrested in jail at Johannesburg prison. He also reflected on how he lost his brother while he was in jail. Advocate Teffo's brother died of a heart attack, and he was buried on the 26th of October. And his 3 children are still not back in school. They owe a lot of money to their landlord, and they have asked them to consolidate this amount. It's over 100,000 rand. And his back body account is still up for everyone who wants to help. I think this is where we probably would be ending. I'm hoping that I did not miss anything that Emily had for me. I want to check before I go further. Yeah. So that will be the end of it. Now, here is a handwritten summary of what went on the other interview. But basically the same stuff, talking about Sifiso terminating the mandate of Afroforum, Herinel, and then how he was approached by Ngobile and Sifiso through Warrant Officer Makubo and Joyce Butelis, saying that, so basically, I think this one would like to know how Sifiso actually got to approach this guy, Teffo. He did not know him, but the Warrant Officer Makubo and Joyce Butelis knew him. So they were in contact with Sifiso, and then eventually they met with Teffo. And then Teffo happened in that court. So Ngobile was also part of that. It must be said. And then 6 people were supposed to be arrested. And that is basically the repetition of what was said on the other interview. That the 6th person being Kelly Khumalo, and having the affidavit of such, not an affidavit, warrant of arrest that he was showing also in Zigi's show, same as he did with MacG. And then the defense were lambasted here. In this one, he really went on to the defense saying that they are part of this whole thing, this whole story. They know what is happening. Perhaps they are also participating freely and willingly as their lawyers. So I don't know what you think of that. Do you think that these lawyers that are there, they want the script to go according to state's view, or according to how the state wants to see the script going? So, and then he talked about how much compromised Ledwaba, how he compromised Maumela, how he was putting pressure to Maumela. And he talks about Roland Sunderland saying that he refused. This is now the why this case of Senzo was not done here in Johannesburg. Roland refused to take this case, saying he didn't want the fiasco that is currently happening in Pretoria. But Ledwaba was more welcoming. He took this and said, I am going to fly with it, according to Teffo. This is allegedly according to Teffo. Basically, he says in this case there was no Julius eventualis. There was no basically capable homicide. He said there was no robbery gone wrong here. It was basically whatever that happened in that house. So people running, let me see. Basically, it's a repetition of everything. But then he goes on also to say Kelly wants to come and testify. This is where I would like to sit on. Kelly wants to come and testify. He's been sidelined. They should give Kelly a chance. And then they followed that video that Kelly did. I'm not sure what you're thinking of this whole thing that Teffo has said here. And then the last part that is very important to me, I think that was not mentioned in McG's side, is Louis Vuitton bag. This Louis Vuitton bag has been mentioned by some whistleblowers, had been mentioned by O'Sullivan. Yeah, I must say that. So this now is going to the door of National Commissioner. So this is the case that they say it criminalized National Commissioner, other than buying, I think, the buildings that costed 150 million, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just thinking it from the head. And so far they've been requested to come with the receipts. As we know now, we work with receipts. So basically, this is where Teffo ended. He went hard on also Fanny Masemula and went hard on the defense. So the question that is going to be bugging me is, do you think the defense does not want this case to finish? Do you think they are also dragging this case? They are playing along what the state is doing. They are just following the states. Do you think that is the case about this case? In my opinion, and I'm going to have my opinion, in my opinion, I will tell you where this comes from, in my opinion. There was a time where, and we talked about it in this channel, we really lambasted, it was advocate of accused number 5, Umshololo. At the time, it seems as if most of the time they were not in agreement. There was this sort of fight between them. They were not in agreement with Teffo most of the time. And we really lambasted that he could have supported Teffo in some of the things. And we had a problem with that. And then now, Teffo has actually made an allegation that accused number 5 was actually willing to take this case. In any case, he's serving lives, many lives that are there, even in addition of the 9 years that he has. So this one was going to be just an additional number that is going to be there. So it was not a problem, according to Teffo, allegedly, that this case also is added on them. So accused number 5 was even made to be this getaway driver that was there in that house. So he was willing. So I get all that. I get all that. And my question would be, when did that happen? You know, I'm not talking about I'm thinking about this case. If you remember, accused number 5 was the most vocal person in Boksburg before Teffo arrived. He was the most vocal person who was unhappy, pointing at Gininda, saying that Lobabalo, ususele wathi uzobopha abafana bakwaButhelezi kwiqiqi siyambona usebopha thina manje Lobabalo yabo. So my question is, when did this change of hearts happen? You know, and we had rumors that at some point they were not happy about Ulokozan. They were not happy about these other accused. The testimonies that the state claims that these other accused number 1 and accused number 2 wrote, they were not happy about them. And we have been, for so many years, seen them how they sit in court. They sit in 2 groups. Yes, they do talk now and then. I mean, we saw them in evidence in local. We saw them, but there is a group of accused number 3 and 4 and 5. I think it's based on age, and then these 2 ones who are younger, they sit on the other side. Even though accused number 3 now and then he does talk to these younger ones. So when did that happen, and what do you make of these allegations? That's a question. And then before we go any further, there is a journalist here on Twitter or something. This journalist is worried In fact, he was angry that Teffo is using Baloyi's son, that tragedy that happened, as for his, I don't know how to say it, sort of for his gain or for whatsoever, but it seems as if he's not happy. I have no statement. They haven't released one. I can tell you that with Teffo, when Teffo started going to court and robbed a few weeks ago, claiming he is back, I called the LPC to check. Oh, this person is an investigator when they want to. But when Absalom has said something, these people, they don't say anything. They tell you they only report on what is in that court. Was this LPC thing in court? That would be a question. You know, people who are fighting so hard for the state. Teffo has used the tragic death of Advocate Baloyi's son to score petty points with randoms on social media. Wow, the boy was 10 in 2024 when he accidentally shot himself, but he has somehow linked this to Senzo. Someone said it's never been about justice of Senzo, and I agree. Now I agree in Now you are defending. Hey, this person is defending Buffett. This person is just defending and defending and defending and defending. Why do you feel the need as a journalist to defend? Why do you feel the need as a journalist, as an unbiased journalist, to defend these situations? I like what these interviews have done. They've ruffled the feathers, and actually you get to see who's who in the zoo, what is their position and what are they supposed to do. Clearly, it's not even hidden these days. People can do whatever they want to do clearly. But I repeat this. If we have journalists that are left in this country that are fair, maybe it's 2 or 3. Because honestly, tell me, why would people go at length to defend the state? Everything said about the states, defend. Everything. Why is it that? Why do we have to do that all the time? I mean, why? But it's okay then. If these people, they know how to deal with things. If they think that they need to sue Teffo, they would sue Teffo themselves. They are lawyers. Why do you need to defend them? Why is it important for you to actually defend as a journalist? As a journalist, not as a spokesperson of the state. As a journalist, even when the state is cornered, you see how these people. And the funny part is, these people sit in that court for the whole day listening to evidence, and then we've been complaining about these things, and people come and say things. You ask yourself, where did they get these things? Where did they get this information? Because they were sitting in the very same court. How did they come to these conclusions? And then when people come, and people like Bo Absalom Zoom come, people are sealed. They don't want to say anything. They tell you, I only deal with things that are in court. Is this in court? Or this is just in social media? Is this in court? Or this is just social media? And people decide to feel the pinch and defend. Clearly, people are doing whatever that they are doing for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't even want to dwell on it, but it is very sad and pathetic to actually defend the state that is capable of defending themselves. It is very sad. Well, let's come back to the issue of Teffo. Some of the things I agree with Teffo. I agree, and I'm happy he did these interviews. I agree with Teffo 100%, but I have a question. He went on to say on some of these interviews, saying that how he got to know how Senzo was killed by Cele, allegedly, it is through Longwe. But he only met Longwe when he was in prison. but this assertion was already in motion in court through him. How did that happen? Now that makes me say maybe there was a communication that he could have forgotten about. And to me, I'm going to say this. It seems as if deliberately there are people who are saying, we will give you information. The information, it goes like 1, 2, 3, the way it is. And then Teffo takes that and say it and echoes it. I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm saying it because he's an investigating person. If I come and say I was there in that house, or my son was there in that house, this is what happened. I'm telling you in confidence. And while I'm saying this, I say it so that you know what? Let me put it like this in the simple way. If you work with people abathandung pempana, those people who would take everything you say and send it to the bosses, what normally I do is I read the room and I'm able to say, okay, this one wants to go score brown points all the time. If I'm not happy about something and I want you to hear as a boss, I'm going to talk to the very same person that I know is going to convey the information. And that person is going to do exactly that, not going to disappoint. I feel like through his investigation, Teffo, as he was investigating, some information came. And this information, it could have, and I'm going to say this, it could have thrown Teffo out because he actually thought, this is the best information that can ever come. Why not use it? And they started using it and it became that. In all honesty, it doesn't seem like, to me, this information is going to help this case. I don't know though. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but it doesn't seem like this information is going to help this case. It doesn't seem like it is helping this case in any how. It does not have much when I look at it. And it was done on purpose. It was, for me, the person who was conveying this information was conveying this information for the reason. And they knew that this information is going to be used. So when this information has been used like this, you obviously have to stick to your guns. Once you say, this is what I put to these people, you're going to stick to those guns. I doubt, and I would say it even today, I doubt that Kelly is the one who pulled the trigger. I doubt, in my own opinion. I 100% doubt. I have tested that theory in many ways and looking at it and listening to people that are saying there is a Senzo Meyiwa's sister who was called by Khumalo, who said allegedly they heard Kelly saying, what am I going to tell Senzo's mother? I'm thinking that's not how you would, for example, number one, that's not how you would cry if you are the one who caused it. That is not how you would cry. But other than that, there are many other things, and all this is alleged, guys. There are many other things that I have to look at, and they don't make sense to me. I'm trying to make sense of them. They don't make sense to me. Okay, it happens. And you listen to Kelly at some point. He said he thought there was a theory where he said he thought Senzo was hugging him. But only to find out he was shot. So that does not say to me it really is Kelly is the one who pulled the trigger. Number two, if Kelly pulled the trigger and he was just playing with a gun, why would the people in the house run? They heard Kelly playing, saying, hey, nguzo, and then the gun pulls off. Why would everyone jump the wall and run away? Number two, why wouldn't Togo feel the need, for example, to say, hey, when this man came in a certain person came in, it felt like ingilozi yokufa. There's too much. That statement on its own is pregnant of a lot of things that you can actually analyze there. So it seems as if there was this uneasiness that happened when, for example, Longwe came in, and that is allegedly, because no one knows. But in that documentary, when he said that, it said a lot of things. And then you go to Swiso, who says at some point he sits down with Khumalo now and then. When he's drunk, he would say, hey, Ulong, and then he would change later. He would change later and say, but those are the things that you look at. Honestly speaking, I doubt that the theory of Cele being the trigger man. And I heard people saying that Teffo was using that strategy so that he can bring Cele and Cele would be relaxed. But Teffo is no longer part of the case, right? According to what we know now at this point in time, not unless things are going to change then later. Why would he still stick to that theory? And actually the defense is having, and Umgomezulunga, he had a different theory that Teffo also sings praise of. We also sing praise of, same as Teffo. So I think there is a theory that was given to Teffo, and it was given for a reason. And perhaps Teffo did not know because he was just investigating, and that theory has sticked now. It is the theory that Teffo is, because you try to make sense of this, it does not make sense. It just does not make sense. I'm trying to make sense, but it does not make sense. Do I think Cele has something to answer for? 100% yes. Why I say Cele should not be called at some point in some of the interviews, I think long time ago, 2020 or something, he also was going with the narrative of there was an intruder in the house. So I don't think calling Cele is going to help this case. But whoever conveyed that message, or during the Teffo's investigation, whoever conveyed that message, he or she was using Cele as a wild card, in my opinion, to say that if Cele comes, she's gonna have to do something. That's my opinion. So this theory of Cele, it is tempting, very tempting, but I would say don't follow it. And to the defense that is currently representing these accused, I would say don't even touch it, don't even look at it, don't even think of it, because in my opinion, it can throw you off. Okay, let's look at it like this. What if the state can strike a deal with Cele and say, okay, we will give you, what do they call it? And what do they call it? Is it immunity? Something like that. Yes, we will give you that if you testify against these people. But they don't call Cele. You call Cele as a defense. And then Cele comes and say, yeah, we talked to these people. And then the state say, oh no, we had a deal. That's why we couldn't, our strategy was that we couldn't arrest Cele. And then Cele has thrown all these people under the bus. What would you do as a defense, and you are the one who called Cele? How would you solve it then? How would you deal with it? Because those are the things that you also have to look at. There are many things, and all is alleged, obviously. But I am skeptical when it comes to Cele. Maybe Cele's mother. I'm not afraid of that. But when it comes to Cele, I am skeptical why you would want to call Cele. More so if there are people who are coming, like Abo Absalom Zung, who are ready to bury this case. Why would you want to go a different direction and dig yourself a hole that you might not be able to come out of it? That is something that that you have to look at. But if you think that you can, obviously they are more professional than me. You call him. But if it was me, I wouldn't call him. I wouldn't call her. I wouldn't. At this point in time, I think the defense has a lot of way of actually escaping this case without calling Kelly Khumalo. In my opinion. That is my opinion. So, I don't know. We wait to see. And in terms of the allegation leveled against the defense, now all of them, I'm not sure. At some point, there was the feeling was there for me to say, yeah, they say this is a bit of dragging. But with Nisi, now, I can almost bet you that he wants to finish this thing off. That is my submission. So I'm not going to speak for other people, but I would just stick to that. I would say that at least there is positivity within that defense. What happened when Teffo was there, it's another story that we would have to look at on another day. But now, what is happening now, it seems as if they want to finish this. Honestly speaking, it seems as if they want to finish this. And let us give them a chance. There is this element that happens now and then of fighting the people that are on the pitch most of the time, which does not help. You know, you want the very same people to win the case, but you are fighting them. How are they going to win the case if you are fighting them? So I would say, let us pour cold water for now and say, let these people deal with this thing and we will judge them when they are done. You know, Teffo played a very crucial role in this case, and we appreciate everything that Teffo has done for this case and for whatever that he went through because of this case. It is unfortunate, and we are sorry for that. And the family, whatever that they've went through, we are really, really sorry for that. It was uncalled for. It was something that was not supposed to happen. It was not even supposed to happen to my worst enemy. More so to someone that we appreciate, such as Teffo. But it happened, and the way it happened, it was really a harsh way. A harsh way. But also Teffo ruffled a lot of feathers there. And yeah, you know, when you talk to Teffo, when you interview, you get scared. I will tell you the truth. You get scared. You know, even Tsikimazwai was scared. You know, he was scared at some point because he was dropping. He goes upper and upper to the upper echelons, as he would say. Those are things that Teffo would do. So when you call Teffo, you must expect such things. You must expect a lot of things that would scare you as a normal person, as a normal citizen. They are scary, but they do happen. I'm just saying that it is scary to deal with what Teffo would say, you know. It is very scary. So that's why it's not something easy, you know, to call Teffo now and then and say, hey, Teffo, can you say one? Can you clarify? Because he starts talking more and more, and then it gets deeper. So it is scary. I won't lie. And the allegations made about Mngomezulu is passing. I'm not gonna say anything. As I said, some of the allegations are scary. I'm not gonna say anything. Better that, because I don't wanna go to jail. But I'm not gonna differ with what he's saying. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's his truth, and that's it. It's okay. Let's leave it like that. I'm not gonna say much. Yes, and then what else we need to look at? Yeah, those are the things that we needed to look at. But I want to lay issue longwe and the affidavits and all that, to me they look too convenient. Like they just happen at the right time. Everything was in place. That is my problem. I have a problem with that. And it seems as if this theory, maybe Teffo might be forgetting, it didn't come because of Longwe, but it came prior to that. I think I remember in the interview that we had, he said he was communicating, he knew Chicco, he was communicating with Chicco. He revealed a lot of information about Chicco. So there's a lot of communication basically. So it could maybe have forgotten when this information is. Then there is a fight that now and then happens between Chicco and Teffo. I would say normally people act on certain things. They go open the cases and do all those things. I haven't seen such. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna say whatever that is happening and whatever that theory that Teffo has, it is his own theory. In my own submission, I'm happy that it's not a theory that now is there, the theory of who shot Senzo. It's not a theory that is there, because defending it would be a hard thing unless someone comes and say, yes, I did it. Unless Kelly Khumalo, for example, comes and say, yes, I did it, which I doubt you'll ever do. I mean, there are a lot of things that Kelly has said, but to allude to that, even Sfiso does not believe that Kelly killed his brother. And so far, in most of the theories that Sfiso had, he has been proven right. In most of the theories, he said this case is going to turn. The truth is going to come out. It seems as if slowly people are coming out now. So I would like to stick to what he said as Sfiso, because he's more clued up. He's closer to this case. He dealt with it since 2014 when his brother passed away. So they probably know what happened in a sense. Unfortunately, they cannot go to court and say, we know this is what happened. That's not how these courts work, unfortunately. So let us hear what you guys have to say. This is the time where you can call. Please call. But in all honesty, I don't, unless you're gonna come with a certain theory that is gonna really convince me. I don't think the trigger person is the one that Teffo is looking at. I don't think so. And do I think Teffo knows or has an idea of what happened? Yes, I do. Do I think is doing this on purpose or for whatever reasons? Maybe we can say it like that. But to say, no, I disagree with that theory. I disagree. So let us hear what you guys have to say. Let us hear what you have to say. So there was an insinuation of rituals also, as Raul is reminding me. Yes, there was such insinuations. Let us hear what Nina from Advocate Teffo got information case, and I believe the gunshot DNA point people in the house. Yeah. Let us hear what you guys have to say. She was confused because she shot by mistake. Oh, so you're saying she was crying because she was confused. I'm not sure. You wouldn't cry like that if you do that. That's all I'm gonna say. You wouldn't cry like that. You'll cry, but your cry will be different. It wouldn't be like that. So in terms of the mistake, I can't. I think yes, there was a mistake maybe because of the gun scuffling that happened, and then maybe. But I doubt Uguti Cele is the one. Looking at that bullet, how do you put that bullet? Because even the person who came to testify said the person who shot Senzo was a bit taller than Senzo, according to how the bullet penetrated. How then do you answer to that? You know, those are the things that you have to look at before you. So how did it happen? So yeah, it's okay to differ. We are not fighting, we are just differing. It's not a fight. Some of the things will agree, some of them will not agree. And by the way, I said Snobile, I'm sorry, Snobile, that Teffo was referring to. So I think that you'd pick that up, because there was at some point Snobile who was even on YouTube here, and then now is busy with others. She's busy with other stuff. So let us hear what you guys have to say, if you guys have anything to say. Because Gabona, okay, this one is saying this is the year of revelations and the truth telling. More people are still to come out and confess. Watch the space. I think the defense has a different strategy. Let us wait and see. For now, we can only judge later. That is my sentiment. That is my sentiment. Good evening. Wishing Emily speed recovery. Yes, Emily will be fine eventually. Someone saying hello, Emily. Guys, you're not calling. You're not calling. You're not calling. Are you scared? Let's call. Let's hear what you guys have to say. Share your views. Let's hear what you have to say. I also share the same, Mr. Anonymous. I haven't watched to the Advocate Teffo. I wanted your view before watching. This information will not be helping the case. I agree. Thank you. Guys, let me remind you the story of the accused four coming inside the house after the shooting, and you listen to what Teffo said. According to the witnesses in the scripture, that's what the story is saying, right? It is not according to accused number 5, number 4, for example. So it is what it is. Yes, I agree. But guys, I still say it now. I have looked at this. I remember at some point we argued with Emily about this. Emily was also, after that theory came, he was sort of almost converted to believing to that theory. We sat down, we looked at all these testimonies, all of them. We looked at them. Nothing suggests otherwise, guys. No matter how you look at it, nothing suggests otherwise. You know, and I will repeat this. Don't you find it funny that Teffo is moved from when he's released in Pretoria, he's then taken to Johannesburg, arrested for the so-called woman of no color assault type of situation, as it is alleged, and then right there, Longwe is there. And Longwe gets in this prison and he looks for Teffo. He looks for Teffo. And then you're saying to me, yeah, that really Longwe went there to do that. If it happened like that, don't you find it funny? Doesn't it worry you? Doesn't it worry you that you have ample time outside? You get arrested, you look for a lawyer inside, but the case is outside. You could have just went to one of these lawyers and said, I want to come and testify. You write an affidavit inside the prison while you left the war outside. The war is outside. You go inside. You look for Teffo specifically. Why? Why? Those are the questions that I'm left with. Maybe the day I get the answers of such, then I'm going to be happy to vie with that theory. But for now, I'm not buying that theory. I'm not going to buy that theory. There is a lot at stake, a lot of it at stake. And yeah, I mean, many people have suffered because of this case. I'm not going to lie to you. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Mr. Anu.
I'm good, and you?
I'm all right, thanks. How are you?
Not bad.
I'm good. No, good, thanks. We were not calling, but there's something wrong with your normal phone call. It's taking to voicemail. It's not working.
Wow, it's bad because it's supposed to work. It is fine. Like, okay, all right.
Oh yeah, it's just, I actually had to try to go on the WhatsApp, but because the normal line was not going through.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
But that's no, that's all good. That's all good. I just meant to notify you that that's probably why you're not getting calls.
Oh,
yeah. Yes. Oh, I've got 2 pointers. Mr. Ano, I totally agree with you. I don't agree with the assertions on how Senzo was killed based on that interview. I don't agree with it. And also, I do not agree in terms of a personal attack to another profession or another professional. I don't agree to that assertion. I mean, we all have got critiques. In any work where you work, some people like you, some people don't like you, but we don't come out and personally attack. So it goes to the attack on the other defense people. Let them do their work. Yet this time, now they're doing their time. So you must let them do their work. And then the other point I was going to look at is, only because we've got a history of how Teffo was in the case, he was prosecuted. I kind of understand where he is going on his personal attack with the prosecutor, because he thinks he's involved in everything that has happened to him. And if you take into account what he has gone through, he is now going for tit for tat. That's what I'm saying. I sort of understand him when he goes for a personal attack on the prosecutor.
Yeah.
And the way the kid died, I sort of understand. So I can't blame him that much on that one. And then a journalist, you did address the issue of the journalist. The lady, she was saying on that Twitter, she had not seen the interview for Absalom Zungu, but she had seen the one for Teffo. And I'm saying, but if you are following Senzo Meyiwa case every day, like all of us, when the video popped up, we all went to see the video. And we listen to the video so that we can have all the information. But how come you only haven't even listened to it? It has been out for a week now. You haven't seen it. Yeah. So I appreciate there are some of our listeners there on the Twitter handle there. So they were saying, there you go, watch the video. There it is. Because the video is a public available information.
Yeah.
It's not something that you have to be knowing to anyone. It's there.
Yeah.
Right. And then my other point, Mr. Anu, is as I was looking at the history of the state prosecutor, I don't know, maybe this thing it happened. There was a commission of inquiry on how to tax violence in 2020.
Yeah.
There was a commission of inquiry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen it, but I saw the report and the people were involved. You know, considering that our brigadier, remember he was involved too much in this tax violence.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. And guess what I also picked is the state prosecutor was also in those tax violence. So these guys, they've been working together, actually. They've been working together for some time to put together this case that we are having. Yeah, that was my assertion that, that just looks a bit weird. But
so they've been
I just found together. Because for them to be in that tax surveillance inquiry, it means they had worked together prior to that 2020. Yeah, and then for them to arrive in 2020 and now have this suspect and actually work together as a prosecutorial-led investigation to lead them to these tax violence guys that I always suspected 3, 4, and 5. They are for tax violence, those guys.
No, it's actually accused number 3.
Yeah, number 3. Probably 4 and 5.
No,
because they are together.
4 and
4.
5 is I think political killings, and then
okay.
3 is it's a different story. Number 4 4 is a different story, but number 3. The Cleveland case, I think it has to do with taxi violence.
Equivalent. Yes. So I was thinking, because they've been working together, so they would have probably worked together to map up. It's just my assertion. It's nothing. I don't have anything. It's just me after I discovered the information on it. So
you are
thanks,
on
Mr.
you are on the right track. Maybe.
No, all good.
So good. Thank you.
Yeah, no. Thanks. Yeah, thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye.
Yeah. Oh wow. So guys, you are saying you are calling and you're not going through. Guys, I see. Okay, I see there's a missed call here. Let's see if you guys call now. And Messi number 2, I agree with you, Mr. Anonymous. Some information from Teffo, I don't know, bit. It's especially in the info from Longwe. Yeah, you cannot. It's difficult to fight and say you are not that, and then all of a sudden you come easily like, okay, this is what I want to give you. This is where I have a problem. This is really where I have a problem. And then when Teffo comes out and he talks about this affidavit, and then it's also made to now the Teffo is crazy. Who do you believe? To say, it did not happen. My son did not do that. And the father is there now, the one saying the father did not write any affidavit and all that. So who now do you believe? As I'm saying, to me, it just doesn't make sense. And again, it fits to that narrative that someone gives you information for a certain reason. Mr. Longwe, if he met with Teffo, it was an intelligence trap and feed him with a certain information past a misinformation. You see, that's my feeling. That is my feeling. And it will be difficult for me to believe such information because you left many platforms. You left many platforms that you can actually come to and say, yeah, this is what I want to do. You left that platform and then you come here, you say, now you go to Teffo, you give Teffo that information. Let me see. Someone is saying I must put this phone on the flight mode and then release it again. Let's see if it's gonna work. Now, guys, please call. I've done that. I have done exactly that. I can also check with my other phone if it works. That theory. Let me see if I'm able to go through. If I'm able to go through, then it works. It says line is busy. Let me take it to the flight mode again. Oh, seems as if someone is blocking it then. Let's take it back. Let's see. Yeah, but guys, I know it's difficult to deliberate on these things, but it's working now. Guys, please call Zansi 071-153-7006. Please call. Let us hear what you guys have to say. All is alleged, and the views of the callers are that of the callers, not the channel. And all in all, everything is just allegedly. Right? Press the like button, guys. Press the like button. They released Teffo because they knew he will talk. This is Laura saying. But you think you can coach? Okay, yeah. Who said? You see, the problem is that we are all under assumption that this is the case. This is what is happening. Hey, kunzima to know exactly what is happening, and as I'm saying, it's these things are like wild card. Like I want to call in Kelly, it's a similar thing. There is a reason why, in my opinion, Kelly was left and was not called by the state. There is a serious reason, and if you are going to fall into that, that's on you. It's not on the states. That's on you. It would, the rest of it will lie on your door. You will decide. If you think you can find the truth, then find it. Because I believe that if people want to tell the truth, then people would have done so. You know, why would they wait for you to come and tell the truth? Why are they waiting? They could have done what Absalom Zung has done if they are not called. They could have just went there and moved one proper statement and affidavit, and then it changes the whole complexion of the case. But people are sitting there, they are busy saying, never do this, don't ever do that. You know, when you still want to call those people? I also don't agree with Teffo's assertion that Kelly killed Senzo from longwe statements. That's too convenient. Very, very convenient. Because, I mean, to me, it doesn't make sense at all. At all. It never made sense because, and from, Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello. Oh, you're dropping. It does not make sense. Let's call again. It does not make sense. Too convenient. Someone who was part of the people in the house saying, yeah, by the way, I came with, you know, where is that part now of protecting the same gun, for example? If you're saying now you came with a gun, you're admitting you came with a gun and all that, it just loses everything. The purpose of this case, why it is being delayed, allegedly, why it has been prolonged for this long, it just loses the case for me. It loses the purpose, it loses the direction and everything. But I'm not gonna say I'm Mr. Know-it-all, but just sitting down and trying to understand this. It's just like this situation now that we're gonna be facing of this commission. I just recently heard Senzo Meyiwa saying that people should not be. What did he say? He says they shouldn't. This freedom was fought for by Mzansi. Hello, Mzansi. Hello.
Hey, Mr. Ano.
Hi, sir. How are you?
All right.
I'm all right, sir.
I'm good, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I Teffo siyamuzo. I think Teffo une-information eningi kakhulu. Aphinde abe ne-bitterness kancane.
Yeah.
So into zakhe usuke manje abe seyahlanganisa ziyahlangana manje agcine usola manje any defense. No, I don't think many are the so-called defense. Because those people are doing what they are doing now. Why is that?
I think I understand where he comes from ngalento defense. At some point nami ngeke ngafila ngazi ukuthi bamyekelele. And at the time they were more buddy with the state. That theory and that assertion, it made sense. In particular, Umshololo as a senior advocate, you know, I felt that he could have actually intervened to some of these things and agree. Even when they were arguing with the judge, I did feel that way. I won't lie to you, and I did say. So
I think you're right.
That is where Teffo, I think, is coming from.
Yeah. Then they emphasize the theory which who exactly shot Senzo. I don't think it's really safe for us because ama-theories amaningi and a-contradictory. For example, ulonge my waye ezohamba ekhuluma naye lapha. Maybe it was just a trick just to confuse the situation even further.
I hear you.
So I think that's where we need to be very objective when it comes to those things, because Teffo, I think, is one guy or is very honest, and now no, I'm bringing this to you very honest. I will start on the range of you. That was a critical.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
But otherwise, no. Very, very critical in the court.
Yeah, no. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, this is the first caller who called direct. Then, guys, that means the calls are now working. Thank you. The calls are now working. This is a direct call. So yeah, we need to look at these things in many ways. We cannot just take it and say, oh yeah, the problem that I have, the source. It's not Teffo. It's the source for me. The source is the problem. I have a problem with the source, not Teffo. The source. You ask yourself, what was the point? Because now it's not like he comes out and say, yeah, I wrote the affidavit. Now he's quiet all of a sudden. He is the person, according to Teffo, who was allegedly looking for Teffo 3 times. I don't know, is it 3 times? He tried. First time, Teffo didn't want to meet. Second time, Teffo didn't want to meet. Third time, when they came to him, then Teffo finally gave in and said, okay, let me meet this longwe fella. And then he met longwe. And then after that, subsequently, there was then another thing that I have a problem with. The why I'm saying this, there's a lot of contradiction. This theory was said by Teffo in court before he met Longwe. That's why I'm saying there might have been some whispering in the ear of Teffo, people who were genuinely coming and saying, Teffo, we are working with you, we are with you, we understand where you come from. And you remember, if you go back and watch the interview we did with Teffo, you'll get where I'm coming from. We understand where you're coming from. We are just doing your work, but this is what probably could have happened. This is what I heard, or something like that. And then later on, those people in public to come and denounce Teffo profusely and say, we have never said anything like that. We have never met someone like, this guy is crazy. What do you say about that? That makes him look like a crazy person, as he was saying that he sometimes you would actually eventually look like you are a crazy person who's saying things. Yes, people might come to you in confidence and say, yeah, Teffo, listen, this is the case. I understand. And then to such an extent, you would think, hey, these are actually good people, these are good people. As much as he also, I believe, Teffo he thinks also, according to Teffo, Mchunu, for example, who is currently suspended, as it is alleged that he's suspended, he's a good person because he was willing to work with him in regards to the people that he wanted to reinstate and all that. He's a good person. Bheki Cele is not a good person according to Teffo's interview. Those are the things that you have to look at. Good. When does a person become good to you? And does that mean, therefore, that person is really a good person? It's a question. Other people have ulterior motives. They do things for certain reasons. Other people they play chess in many things that they do. They will say, okay, this is what I'm giving you. You go and say that thing. Next thing they come and denounce and say, no, I didn't say that. I never said that. So you're thinking Teffo is telling them straight to their faces. Anyone who has another theory must come live and tell it. Teffo has just said that 11 people have died mysteriously in this case. We we are talking Ndlovu, Brigadier, former Brigadier Ndlovu. We are talking about many other people. Even is suspecting Ngomezulu. There was a dead hand there, according to him. So here's a question, $1 million question. If these people are capable of doing that, and really, if there are people capable of doing things, serious things, or even take people's life, the only reason while you could be breathing then is because they don't deem you as dangerous as you might think you are, or you might. That is one way of also thinking of it. Ngomezulu was in this case. Teffo was removed when he was in this case. He was removed, and he lost a lot of things because now he had to deal with the LPC and all that. There was a lot of things that had to come with this case. Now, whatever he says on the street, it does not affect them, but it does, however, change the opinion of the society. I don't know if you understand where I'm going. So whatever that he says now, if we call him for an interview, it will make you look at this case in a different way and look at the defense in a different way. That is what also we must take into account. It is very important. Therefore, worked for this case. There's no doubt, but that he worked for this case. He suffered for this case. There's no doubt. But we cannot let the emotions dictate on where we should go from here. I'm going to make an example. In the interview at the end, he talks about the Louis Vuitton gang. The Louis Vuitton gang, according to what we have been hearing from O'Sullivan and everyone else, that is Kibom Kwanas, according to allegedly to what was said here. Well, he didn't mention Kwanas, he just mentioned Fanima Semula, but others who have been mentioning the Louis Vuitton gang, they mention Kwanas. Do you understand? So, what is important is to follow the source of information. Not necessarily that you are going against the person that delivers the information, because sometimes they can deliver it from the blind side. But where does the information come from? For example, I cannot say, hey, this person is really a proper whistleblower just because. I'm looking at the source of information. For me, for example, this information comes from someone bigger than you. For example, you start asking yourself questions. Okay, all right. Where is this? Who's pushing this? You start. Those are the things that you have to look at. Otherwise, you take everything but it's okay, guys. We are learning. If Kelly jumped on top of Longwe from the back after a first shot, struggling for the gun, and Senzo also joined in the struggle for the front, and then she was higher. But they're saying Kelly never went to fight. It was from the testimonies that we have had, And I have a problem with people saying, at some point they said they wanted to talk, they want their day in court. Why don't you go and you are being accused, for example, you are being accused, they say you are a person who actually created this whole thing, you call these people, you pay them money, and you are okay with that, you don't make noise. And then Teffo comes, and then you start making noise. I'm not saying you are okay because you said you are okay, but it seems as if you are okay if you don't say anything. If you don't come in defense and say, hey, be on a defense mood. And then Teffo comes and says something, then you become on a defense mood. But Gininda has been testifying in court. How involved you are. You have never said anything. That's what I'm saying. For me, she's a wild card. You don't bring her unless you have a proper plan of how you want to make them speak however you want them to speak. So I support Teffo in everything. And I'm going to say this. I even support Teffo to get his time and his revenge to people who, in a form of whatever they did, now they should get the same punishment. I hope that happens. But this case here, Senzo, at this point, this is very sensitive. The defense is going to start introducing their own defense, and they might be tempted, some of them. And I'm going to say this. I think Mngomezulu, other than the fact that he had his theory that Longwe is the one who shot Senzo, he worked mostly with some of the people that Teffo probably was working with. And I'm not going to say much. In my opinion, in his investigation, he was using that line, in my opinion. And we know what has led that to, what that led to, as people are allegedly. So I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. I don't know how to tell you, sis. I think you should call me on the side and maybe we discuss, because we using this the public stuff as we always do, but there are things that are there that you ask yourself, how is this there? How is this? It's like the issue, for example, of how the bullet was found. You ask yourself, how was the bullet found? That's like that after people have looked for days looking for that, and then here comes this person who goes straight as if he's a sangoma. He get that thing. And then all of a sudden, heads are rolling. People are getting arrested. I believe Teffo in some of the theories that he has put. I 100% believe him. I'm not against his theories that I have contrasted and say they don't make sense to me. I can still be convicted and be convinced. I'm fine. But at this point in time, when it comes to that theory, which I doubt it has much material in terms of what is going to happen in that court at this point in time, since you are saying your people were not in that house, you don't need to prove who pulled the trigger. Unless that person comes easily and say, oh, by the way, I pulled the trigger. That's okay. You don't go to that road. Absalom is giving you a way out. You want to take a difficult road to prove the case. No, you cannot. It's not your job to prove a case. Your job is to kill this one so that 375 can be born again. Kill this one. And that is where the problem was, because these cases were created together. And there was a purpose why they seem to distract each other. So if you are going to start now you are going to kill the other one, kill this case while you can. Don't look for any other thing that's going to seem to create a certain narrative. Kill this one, and the public and the world will be watching for 375 to be given a chance, as they said. Kill this case. All you need to do in this case is to kill this case. These people who are going to be exonerated, they can go home and deal with whatever that they need to deal with in terms of the dealing with the states. Those who are arrested, they will serve their time in peace. No one will be driving them around. Kill this case. That's your job. And the job is, don't be confused as to what you are doing. Your job is to kill this case and then give pressure to the other one and say, but you said if this case dies, then that one. There is a letter that is saying that. Someone is saying we are calling, but we cannot go through. No, but someone go through. Please try again. Here comes a person who has no clue of how we have worked and talked to these people. You know, sometimes people speak stupid things. I'm sorry to say this. We are not lambasting anyone here. It is very, 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 very stupid for someone to say that. We're not lambasting. We are just testing the theory, as we've been doing for years. So the problem is that when we test, I'm a fan of everyone that has dealt with this case, from Ngome Zulu and everyone. I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of that. So don't come with other people, Mar. I mean, small-minded people. We are not lambasting anyone. No one is being lambasted here. I'm just going to say it like that because it doesn't make sense. You know, you come in this case, we've been following this case for years. And you come just because you've just recently have an interest, you say, don't lambast people. Man. We are not lambasting. We are saying Teffo helped this case. That's for starters. Teffo helped this case. He is the reason why we are here. He is the reason why we are here. And we are saying we are lambasting Teffo. He will be laughing at you, even him. He will be laughing at you. He knows. He would tell, hey, Mr. Anonymous, why? Jeez. Hey, you know, it's fine, man. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. People get emotional. Guys, let's call. You are saying the number is not working. But I've done everything and people were calling. They were able to go through. Angazi ukuthi kwenzakala on Friday. Friday nje kushuthi uyahlupha. Friday is not. I don't know which number you were calling, but if you were calling this one, 071 153 7006, it should be going through. Yeah, someone is saying, let me read this because it's, hello, Teffo knows what he's talking about. He has done thorough research. Please stop lambasting him. Hey, we're lambasting Teffo. I mean, I'm that kind of a person. Even now, we can talk to Teffo. I'll tell him, Teffo, I do not agree with that theory. There, he will. He's one of those people who's open for debates. He will convince you. If you fail to convince you, it's okay. He's not an animal. He's not a cruel person who's gonna say, Teffo is a good person, man. Teffo is a very, very good person. So we are not lambasting Teffo. We cannot lambast Teffo in this channel. Not this channel. On other channels they can lambast. Not in this channel. We believed in Teffo. We still believe in Teffo. And if it was according to us, everything that has been taken away from Teffo would be back. In fact, thank you for reminding me and pissing me off. Guys, there is, what do you call the donation site? Please, let us go there and donate to Teffo. If that money, I hope it's gonna go to him. If it's gonna go to him, let us donate there, guys. He's our guy. He's been interviewed here. Teffo is a very good person. Teffo does not undermine people. Whether you are small or big, we interviewed Teffo when how many subscribers? Small number of subscribers. Teffo respected us and talked to us nicely. He didn't look for bigger YouTubers. It's something of today. Now he's using every platform that he can use, which is good, which is very good. I'm happy for that he can get access in because he cannot now use mainstream media. They've blackballed him. They don't want to hear what Teffo has to say. So he must use YouTube because that's where the future is in any case. Yeah, so we are not fighting Teffo. We just happen to differ with one assertion. So is that a sin to differ with one assertion? One. Two, we're not supposed to differ. You got rid of it. I think I'm going to close this because I tried to wait for you guys. Indeed, we were a small number back then. When he was interviewed, but we were a small number. Small number. He came. We interviewed him. You know, we were scared. This big advocate. Just, you know, Teffo is a very good person, man. And when you talk to him, you start laughing because he's a very good guy. So people get abazofika becabanga Teffo is something that happened yesterday before he was arrested. You know, before Teffo is a good person, man. So, and I hope that he gets the help, all the help we need. Even I am gonna donate there on that thing. I will donate because I mean anything that helps him, because the reason why he's there, you know, my pain, the reason why he's there, part of it is this case, you know. So I cannot just sit and watch. I will donate, guys. Help where you can help. Help where you can help. So we're not fighting anyone here. Hey, Abantu, once you differ with someone, you are wrong. That's a problem. That's a problem we have in South Africa. It's why people will politically defend wrong things. They defend it. Even if you know what someone is wrong. I'm not saying that in this case, but differing is okay, Buffett. It doesn't mean you are an enemy. That because I differed with you today, now you are an enemy. Aye, Buffett. Angivale la. Aye, angivale. Izobonana nganza kwethu. Thank you very much for joining us. Please press that like button. It's not the banking details. I saw it was trending on Twitter. It's like, do you remember that? Is it GoFundMe? Emily knows these things. We will put it here. But before I do that, if it's possible, I will try to ask for I'll put it here though. I'll put the link here. I saw it on Twitter. So it's like the GoFundMe thing. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Let us donate however we can. Assist ummeli wethu. Ummeli wabantu loya. Abantu abafana nami nawe. Let us assist wafethu Daniel Mr. And by the way, he watches this channel. So let us donate, guys. He watches this channel. He follows this channel. Mzansi, hello.
Yeah, followed me.
Mzansi, hello.
Yes, Mr. Alo.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Siyaphila.
Mina ngicabanga ukuthi leli cala leli uTeffo lazi njengalokho ezazi yena.
Yeah.
Ngendlela alilandela ngayo. Ngoma ungalandela indlela achaza ngayo. Lento edlalwa lapha yiyo kodwa manje idlalwa ngabantu abangabona.
Awuchaza mfethu yenaba nje.
Ngoba manje mawulalela uthi uTeffo ulongo wayekhijelwe ngaphandle.
Okay.
Uma ekhitshelwe ngaphandle kuqhuma isibhamu ngaphakathi.
wabaleka wezendlini.
Usuke estradini engene siyendlini siyocheck ukuthi kwenzekani.
Yeah.
Umefika laba bebesendlini sebebalekile abanye baphuma ngaphandle bayabuya kuyakhulunywa bayachazela ulongo ukuthi into eyenzekele la kwenzakala u1 lo 2 lo 3 ngalesi sibhamu wena ofike naso.
Now here's the question. Upon that, was Longwe ever wounded on the
No, ngokuchaza kade for akalimalanga ulongo. Umuntu ongazuthi wathinteka ngozandi ngokuthi kwashayeka phansi. Ngokuchaza kade for
So wait, is that Teffo who said Zandi wathinteka or uZandi wathi wathola umkhuzuko?
No, umuntu wakhulumayo ngozandi. Kodwa manje ngizama ukulalela lento akade ichaza.
Okay, so okay, I'm trying to follow that theory with you. So there how many bullets were there that were shot in that house, according to this theory of yours?
No, ngokubazwa kwami ngazuthi cishe habe mathathu ngoba kunelinye ukuthola lashaya esivalweni.
Do you believe those theories?
Angithembi mina.
Okay,
akaze ngimthemba uGilinda.
Leyashaya esivalweni, do you count that as it happened ukuthi shaya esivalweni? Leyashaya phansi yona uyayithemba nayo?
Angaze futhi ngithembe. Mina ukuthi nje
angithi
legenge le
we are trying to follow the theory. Even though singakhona kukhona singakuthembi akezizama ukuthi okay ukhona uthi wayixosha inhlamvu ephansi ne lo muntu lo mina ngiyamthemba uthi wayinikeza iphoyisa amaphoyisa akayaphika athi akakho umuntu wasithathela inhlamvu esizwe ngiyakholwa ukuthi khona inhlamvu abayixosha phansi.
Iphoyisa alikho iphoyisa lingavuma manje usibiye khona lapha.
Now here's the question here for you. Uma ukuthi isibhamu saqhuma kanye according to theory ka ukuthi uKheli uyena wadubula lokhuzana ulonge bamdisarma angithi isibhamu basinikeza uKheli angithi.
Yebo.
And then uKheli usedlala ngaso kusethi kade kuliwa njalo. Don't forget kade kuliwa kwadisarma umuntu isibhamu. uKheli usedlala ngaso sethi hey ngaku yebo lonto le. And then sesiyaqhuma isibhamu. That is how the theory, that if I follow the theory, now does that theory make sense to you?
100%.
Ukuthi singathi siqeda ukulwa manje sidis umuntu isibhamu manje sengidlalisa ngaleso sibhamu mina.
Mina ngiyavumelana lento ekhulunywa ngoTeffo ukuthi lo muntu wasidlalisa. Ngicabanga ukuthi wayezitshela ukuthi akusinto engaqhuma mhlawumbe wayengasazi isibhamu sakhona ukuthi ihlobo lesibhamu sisebenza njani. Engani saqhuma nakho phela size silimaza uZandi phansi siqhumile sisebenzile sesikhombisa ukuthi siyasebenza manje simshaya. Ebhodi ngomdlalo lo yangithi sketch nazo ukhulumile uTeffo wathi khona sketch.
No, I don't dispute the sketch. Yabo, in my opinion, I'm not going to say who, but in my opinion, yes, le sketch angiyi dispute. Sengizama manje ukwenza sense yaleyo ukuthi because angithi silandela ukuthi there are people that have not been called, but there's affidavit that says umuntu wayixosha phansi inhlamvu wamnikeza uphoyisa leli inhlamvu enjani size sikhuluma ngokuthi nje revolver inhlamvu yakho yayi silver enjani yayi silver le limele engakhonakala ukuthi yelab yo test leyo nayikholwa. Yabo inhlamvu mina inhlamvu le abantu bayithola. Ngiyayikholwa mina ukuthi
lenhlamvu yayikhona kodwa manje
ukholwa manaka sesanje ibhamu zimbili ukholwa ukuthi e revolver noma ukholwa ukuthi e 9mm le abayithola phansi le bayithola
nge-revolver
okay
nge-revolver
all right ngiyakuzwa bese bethola phezulu le 9mm
ayina cartridge le nto leyo
uqinisile impela ayinali cartridge and akunama cartridge atholakala lapha
yebo
ngiyakuzwa
angithi manje anonymous kunento ethi mina nihlele ngila ngilalela icala njalo enimbuye ngilalele nawo futhi njalo anginasuku lodwe olonjumpa
yeah no mina you know what I like ukuthi siargue
yebo kodwa manje kukhona isikhathi esingadingi uargue sikhona isikhathi esivumayo nje ukuthi asivumelane ngoba lento
iqondile kuwena ukuthi yes the shooter could have been a female. Let me put it like that. Could have been a female. Give me my qondanga. Yabo, and I've got my reasons.
Kodwa mina ngakho ukuthi ungaba ngumfazi wadubula.
Yeah.
Into engenza ngikholwe into ethi lo wayekhitshelwe ngaphandle.
Uyakukholela ukuthi umuntu wakhitshelwa ngaphandle.
Ukukhitshwa kwakhe ngaphandle into engenza ngikholwa ukuthi wakhitshelwa ngaphandle ile theory uMaphisa wathi makuqhuma isibhamu wabonakala eqhamuka ngapi ngaphandle
egijima
yebo
wabona ubani konje wabona ubani uMaphisa egijima
hayi ungininda phela
okay.
Ngiyazi ukuthi la ekhaya umuntu akabizwa kebizwa kodwa manje nangesibongo iyaxolisa
uzishilo mina allegedly ngiyakuzwa hayi cha no ngiyakuzwa mfethu asibeka isitori sakho
ngizama into ethi uma ungayibuka ngalendlela uTeffo ayichaza ngayo iyavuma lento ukuthi uLongoma wayekhitshwe ngaphandle ungalalela inkulumo ethi wabonakala umuntu egijima engena ubusulalela angithi manje ile nkulumo kaGini into ethi wagijima wangena ngaphakathi then ababesendlini baphuma ungayilalela iyahambisana lenkulumo kaTeffo ukuthi umuntu wayenesibhamu ongulongwe lo ngiyaxolisa futhi ukuqambika mama kodwa kuyefana
allegedly it's okay
wayekhishwe ngaphandle then makuqhuma isibhamu ngaphakathi ungena phakathi laba bebephakathi endlini ibabaleka so yawuyenza umqondo kodwa ke ibisisehlula ukuthi kube sokusiba ngumuntu oyilaba abantu abalapha ekhona abantu mina ngicabanga ukuthi abantu aba-actiswa lento yiba abantu abarong abanikazi bestori sonke basendlini
no ngiyakuthola mfo kodwa ke here's the question
yabona makungathabona bezodlala
lesi sketch
bezodlala lesi sketch lesi awu futhi bazosidlala kahle futhi siyamecha
ngiyakuthola ngoba usibiza nangesketch no ngiyakuthola futhi ngiyabonga ngiyakuzwa futhi la ushaya khona kodwa nawo umbuzo uthi umbuzo usho ukuthi bengamvikela kangaka mfethu untombazane bemvikele kangaka bebengathola mosesinye esinye seyibhamu ukuthi istory bagcine besibeke ezandleni zakhe vele bethi hayi uye owazenzelayo lento lengesibhamu sakhe bemvikele kangaka untombazane
uyabubhuti khona into ethi uTeffo mayichaza iyakutshela ukuthi into evikelwayo yisibhamu. Akuvikelwa umuntu la, kuvikelwa isibhamu. Ngiyakholelwa ukuthi isibhamu kusho khona ukuthi silabantu abarong noma abantu abakhulu.
Mana-ke ngibuze manje ke la endabeni yeholiday lapho uthini lapho kuleyo ndaba leyo ukuthi kwaba nesikhathi sokuthi kumele omunye odla ama-holiday, uthini kulezo ndaba lezo?
Uthi kunento ethi umuntu wesifazane ngesinye isikhathi isifuba sakhe sigcwele ubisi. Wayengazithola sephahlukile.
Sabe akaphahlukeke manje mfethu. Yisi isikhathi lesi.
Akusavumi phela sokufa abantu abaningi.
Hayi phahluka mfethu isikhathi lesi.
Akusavumi. Akusavumi sokunabantu abaningi abafileyo.
Ngiyakuthola mfethu, ngiyabonga kakhulu mfethu, hayi ungihlekisile. Ngiyabonga
mfethu.
Ngiyakuthola. All is alleged, the views that of the caller. Uthi into esibambe yaphahluka. Hayi bafanayo le nto ingakho kuthiwa abafazi mfethu, bafabazi labo bantu. If you don't believe in Teffo's theory, which theory do you believe? There are theories, and there is a theory, and then there's a part of the theory that loses me. I believe in Teffo's theories, most of them. The part that loses me is who pulled the trigger, which is, I don't think in this case is going to be of importance in any case. That's why I'm saying we can argue that one, you know. It's not important who pulled the trigger in this case. It's not, unless you find someone who's going to come and say, and then Umgomezulu, there is an assertion that was put by Umgomezulu. And then he even said the doctors, some of them have, and then Gininda went on to look for those, I think the report and all those things. Guys, I guess is it the gun allegedly that is shielded only, or also there is a person that could be also shielded? That's a question. It's just a general question, because I have seen people fighting. Really, when a certain name has been called, people have been fighting, but without calling that person, you know, without calling that person. And then, if we believe there is a third hand in Mngomezulu's demise, as it alleged, may his soul rest in peace, why would we believe such a theory and then differ with his theory? Why? That's a question that I'm going to leave with you. If you believe there is such, then, as Teffo alleges, you know, if there is such, why then would you? Because he was coming with that theory, the theory that we say it's not the theory, right? He was coming with that theory. He was supposed to prove that theory. Okay, not to prove, I'm using the wrong word because the defense is not supposed to prove, but he said he was going to call people. And then you guys, it's you who believe that, it's alleged by Teffo himself that there could have been a third hand or something like that in his demise. So why, if he's wrong, why would there be a third hand? If it's really wrong, it's not in the right path. Why was he looked at as a threat? I'm just asking. But again, it's a story for another day. Just ask yourself those questions. Perhaps they will help you. There are a lot of theories that have been put there, but not all of them, in my opinion, they are not far from each other. there and there, they are just twisted. You know, they are just twisted. The guy who's said to be a drunkard, who saw accused number 3, allegedly, who gave the description, he saw someone. And even if they say there was a script, maybe a bit of it was twisted, maybe. Because that's what you must also put in your head. If there was twisting, you don't change everything completely, you know. Ntogo jumped to the neighbor. I'm not sure if the neighbor, the father, Ngashe said, Bias Tubula, he said something like that to the Bias Tubula, something like that. You know, those are the things, small things, ne? Small anyana things. Small anyana things. You know, that would make you wonder. And then number 2, upon that happening, the Ngashes, when they arrived on the scene, they said they did not see Longwe. Not contrary to what Longwe said, he went on to look for help outside. It's not contrary to what he said. But, well, there are a lot of theories. I mean, we can hypothesize until but yeah, let us leave it here. We guys, we are not fighting. We are just looking at these things differently. I'm of a view that people who were in the house, they know what happened in the house. In my opinion, that's my opinion. And those are people that we should look at. As to who was what and where in the zoo, that's now a different deal. They should be able to tell us who and why and what happened. Mistake or not mistake. You know, yes, I believe maybe it could have been a mistake, or maybe it was that situation, desperate time, when you decide to scare someone doesn't get scared. There are many ways you can look at this thing. Thank you, CD. Thank you very much. God bless you. There are many ways you can look at this thing. So, these theories, even Teffo himself said there are many theories, right? These theories will always be there until someone, njengoba ubafadeshe khona abangakwazi ukuba nesifuba avela sitshele nje straight ukuthi bafowethu kahle into eyenzeka lapha, this is what happened from A to B, and then case closed. So let us wait and see what the defense has. Monday is not far, guys, but it will still be state. I think they said they have 2 people or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Do expect the twist and turns Monday, or someone's gonna be sick, or I don't know. And there are a lot of ways to skin the cat. Thank you very much, guys. God bless you. Press the like button as I bow out. Thank you for being with us. We have fought. We are still family. We love each other. We just have a respectful way of talking to each other. I agree with you now that all those theories are not far from each other. Yes, the theories are not far from each other. They are just closer to each other, and there's a reason why. And you cannot, when you change something, you don't change it completely. You just, if it was changed. Yeah. Guys, thank you for being with me. Emily is coming back next week. Maybe even Sunday, I'm not sure if she feels better. But definitely Monday she'll be here delivering. I'm sure you're tired of me. I am not tired of you. And I hope she'll be feeling better. She'll be here though. It's a promise. Unless something drastic changes, something very big, something, I will, but I think she'll be here. It was nice talking to you guys. as I was sitting in Emily's chair. The only thing is that the camera was not on, but I was sitting on her chair. I really enjoyed it, and it taught me a lot. And I understand sometimes when she feels the pressure, why she feels the pressure, because this chair is very hot. Make sure you press the like button. Thank you very much. God bless you.